Morning everyone, it's Rebecca from Silver Grey Foliage. I'm here today to talk to you about some of our foliage that we have going into growers boxes over the next couple of weeks. So it's coming up to Valentines. We still have winter foliage, eucalyptus in particular, that's available to order by the box. You can order by the stem as well if you're local, by the bucket, but those of you further afield, boxes are probably more economical. Important things first to keep up to date with what we're doing, what we're growing, how we're growing, and what we have available for you. Subscribe to our channel. You can do that using the bell icon at the top, and then you will get notifications about what we're telling you here on the channel. You can watch them, that would be great, or you can ignore them depending on what works for you. But if you don't subscribe, you might well miss out. Okay, so eucalyptus coming up. So first up this morning, I'm showing you Eucalyptus Nicolai. This is lovely and light, gives a lovely kind of ethereal texture. We always cut in long stems and branches. There are a couple of availabilities in terms of stem length earlier in the season, but at the moment we're cutting long stems and it's a grower's choice, so everything is the same. The thing that I really love about this is the movement that you get from it. It's really lovely. It adds structure as well, because it's kind of lightly and gently branching, but mainly it's that movement, which looks lovely and feels lovely in a bouquet. So next today, I've got some Parvi. Now, our Parvi comes in slightly different shades depending on where it's cut from in the field. So some of it's a bit darker, some of it's a bit lighter. Again, everything comes in lovely long stems. And one of the things I think is really important to see about this is that because we cut useful branches and stems, our foliage really does help you to give structure. So it's not just a stem, it will come with branches that you might take off if you're wanting to make maybe wreaths, or you might leave on if you're wanting to fill out a bouquet. So there's a real choice here. I think that's important because sometimes people might say that our foliage is a little bit more expensive. That's because it's freshly cut, it's been watered and loved all season to get this quality. It's long lasting, but the other thing is that we cut fairly, so a stem isn't just a stem, it's more of a branch, which gives you more flexibility to use it. So we are in February 2023, and I'm really just showing you the eucalyptus that is still in good quality. We've been cutting since November last year, so we don't have a full range of availability at the moment. This is one of our silvery types of colours. So this is one of the glaucusans. Again, you can see that it's a branch, so it gives you lovely structure if you're building a bouquet. You really only need 1 or 2 stems. You don't need 5 or 6 stems because there's plenty to this. I'm just going to take that bottom leaf off. And it's lovely kind of silvery sagey green, and with slightly different leaf shapes again, which gives you interest. There's slightly bigger leaves at the bottom, slightly more pedunculated leaves at the top, and that's just a sign that the eucalyptus has started to mature, which is fine because we're getting towards the end of season and we'll be cutting it back very soon. So this is what we mean when we talk about our silvers. Our silvers come in different shapes and sizes. I'm going to show you Archery in a minute. I think the key thing to say is that we're doing grower's choice at the moment, so that we're giving you a mix of the best eucalyptus or the best foliage that we have in the field. So sticking for a moment with silvery kind of shades, this is Eucalyptus Archery. You can see actually that it must be quite mild because it's got tiny leaves at the top and it's starting to grow again. Again, lovely long stems. It's slightly more matted texture, less shiny. Than the glaucusans that I showed you a minute ago, but it's really lovely to work with. That small leaf gives you lovely movement. Again, it's a little bit branching, so it gives you movement and it gives you interest along your stem and little bits that you could take off for wreaths or buttonholes or anything else that you're doing. So the last one that I'm going to show you today is one of my absolute favourites. This is Subcrenulata. It's got a gorgeous dark glossy leaf. So this is Lost Eucalyptus I'm going to show you. There's a couple of other bits of foliage that I'm going to talk about as well. I love it, and we've got plenty of it still. I love it because it's strong, it's long lasting, It's got a gorgeous stem. It is useful in everything from bouquet work to funeral work to wreaths. It has an interesting shape, a glossy leaf. It's just a gorgeous foliage. I really love working with it, and it grows well for us here. So this I guess forms a backdrop of lots of the foliage that we send out at the moment, but it's amongst our range, which is lovely to see, and it's still going strong. So next thing I'm going to show you is our bay, which we really start to cut at this time of the year, and we try not to cut it too much in winter. And the reason that we cut it at this time of the year, or we like to reserve it for now, is because you get these lovely bubbles, which will be flowers. So blossoms do come from there, but the bubbles make a lovely texture. Again, like everything, it's got lovely long stems. It smells really beautiful. It's got that interest to it. It's lovely and long lasting. So again, it's good for a buttonhole if you take off these extra bits, good for a wreath if you take off those extra bits, and lovely in a bouquet, and good in funeral work too. So it's a good all-rounder. We cut it now. You'll see that there's the occasional leaf that has, oh look, can I show you, that's got a little bit of browning to it. That's just because we've had like an exceptionally cold winter, and those leaves come off really easily, and it's no different to any other foliage you'll buy. So there's the occasional leaf that you might need to take off, but I think it's worth it for these gorgeous stems, for this amazing scent. I didn't talk to you about the scents of the eucalyptus. We'll do that another day. They all smell different, which is really lovely. So finally today, I have some rosemary. This is rosemary from HQ. It's slightly bushier than the rosemary that we have in the field, and that's just because the rosemary that we have here is older, so it's been going for longer. The rosemary in the field still gains that same length, but is a bit less bushy, but it's beautiful to work with. It's lovely and long lasting, and it smells amazing. So traditionally, lots of people use rosemary in winter for wreath work. People use it in funeral work, but it adds a nice structure to a bouquet and nice scent. So, I would consider reusing it in bouquet work as well. And just holding on to the fact that they're not kind of those short piddly stems that you might get from the Dutch market. They're kind of lovely and long and scented still, which is one of the things that we pride ourselves in. So that's a quick romp through most of the things that are available at the moment. My email address is in the comments below. It's rebecca@silvergreyfoliage.com. Do subscribe to the channel, because that way all of our availability across the year is going to be shown on here, just so that it's easy for you to see, rather than just a list of names, which might not mean so much, because we don't necessarily grow obvious things. And it's nice, I think, to be able to see the qualities of the flowers, and to just talk through some of their strengths, and also some of their weaknesses. So as we talk about flowers through the course of the year, I'll be talking about the ones that do well out of water, the ones that maybe don't hold quite so well if you're doing archways and things, the things that are going to give you structures and branching, and the flowers that are going to give you movement, and that are going to really show off the work that you do. So that's coming up in the channel. Subscribe at the top. If you're a florist in the UK, we are posting foliage in boxes over the course of the next few weeks, and we will be doing probably until March. Flowers we are posting, but we are working with a select few, so do get in touch, and we'll talk to you about what you need and what you're after, and make plans from there. Otherwise, happy February, and I'll see you soon.